No, they changed it up.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Minnesota State Fair FFA Live pre-show. I'm your host, Kyle Thomas, the Minnesota FFA National Officer Candidate. Now, this year is a very special year because we are celebrating 75 years of Minnesota FFA at the State Fair. FFA has had a long tradition of success at the State Fair as one of the largest FFA shows in the entire country. Now, this morning, before we get started, we have some very special guests that we are going to be having on our live show. And our first guest is Teresa Biss from Bremer Bank. And now, Teresa, you've been a longtime supporter of the FFA as well as Bremer Bank. So can you talk about why does Bremer Bank support Minnesota FFA?
I'd be happy to answer that question, Kyle. And it's multifaceted, as a matter of fact. So Bremer is a strong agriculture-oriented bank. As a matter of fact, I believe, are the 9th largest agriculture bank in the nation. And because of that, we believe in the power of agriculture in the communities that we serve throughout Minnesota, North Dakota, and Wisconsin, and particularly in Minnesota. We have a large presence in rural communities, and with agriculture being the backbones of those communities, supporting an organization like FFA is a natural fit for Bremer. We have a purpose statement that's called Cultivating Thriving Communities, and it's all about knowing the people in those communities, understanding what's important to the communities, and supporting the individuals and the businesses in those communities as they go about functioning on a day-to-day basis. A natural fit for Bremer.
Now, can you talk a little bit more about how Bremer Bank supports agriculture? You talked a little bit about FFA, but what are some other ways that Bremer Bank really supports our agricultural industry?
Well, an interesting piece. As an agricultural bank, we have a number of our ag bankers who are specialists in that particular area who, in essence, farm themselves or are connected with agriculture themselves. So there's a tremendous amount of expertise that comes to the role of that relationship manager as they support our agriculture-oriented businesses. Then, of course, being involved in supporting programs that develop the youth of our communities, both through programs like FFA as well as through programs such as 4-H. There's just such an incredible way to be supportive because we recognize that the future leaders of our ag-oriented rural communities rests in the youth in those communities. So the importance of supporting them is really tremendous and at the heart of the work that we do.
For sure. Now, can you next talk a little bit about how has Bremer Bank got involved with FFA at the State Fair? How long have you been supporting FFA programs at the fair?
Roughly probably 4 to 5 years directly. And so if you take a look at Bremer in general, we support the fair overall. We are the State Fair's bank. We support the horticulture building. We support the seed art feature, and then we support programs like FFA here, your awards program today. So combined, there are just a tremendous number of ways that we are feeding into the agricultural support and certainly to that of the FFAers as well.
Awesome. Well, that was incredible to hear. We are so lucky to have so many incredible sponsors and supporters through the FFA. Really, none of it would be possible without incredible individuals and organizations such as yours. So I really thank you for the contributions that you have made to FFA, and I thank you for joining us live this morning.
You're very welcome, and thank you.
Thank you. All right, coming up next, we have some very special guests from the dairy world. We have the 69th Princess K of the Milky Way, as well as 3 other finalists. Well, good morning, everybody. How are we all doing today?
Good.
It's the last day of the State Fair. It's been very busy for you guys, I'm sure. So can you all start by introducing yourself and where you come from?
So my name is Rachel Rinda, and I'm the 69th Princess K of the Milky Way. I come from Lee Seward County in Montgomery, and I was a part of FFA from the Tri-City United FFA chapter.
Awesome.
My name is Haley Burks from Stearns County, and I was involved in the Albany FFA chapter.
My name is Alex Kristen, also from Stearns County, and I was a part of the Sauk Center FFA chapter.
My name is Kylie Lickfelt. I come from Hutchinson in McLeod County, and I was a part of the Hutchinson FFA chapter.
So you guys all have very strong FFA ties. So can you all talk a little bit about how FFA has played a role in your ability to serve as ambassadors in the dairy industry?
Yeah, so for me, I started out in FFA my freshman year, and I really got involved with dairy judging. That was my first event that I did. And just the friendships I made and the connections throughout the dairy world that I made through dairy judging was a huge boost. Definitely a lot of leadership opportunities and growth for me throughout the FFA.
To expand on what Rachel said, I definitely got involved in many different things like dairy evaluation, prepared public speaking, and parliamentary procedure, and I think that just pushed me out of my comfort zone and helped me become a leader.
I was active in the parliamentary procedure, and I think that gave me a lot of public speaking skills that have helped me in this role. It also, my involvement in FFA has led me to join a collegiate FFA chapter at the University of Minnesota Crookston.
Similar to these ladies here, I think just the overall leadership experience from FFA has given me so many opportunities, getting involved in the different judging areas and just involved with all the other students. Yeah, really helped me with leadership and just participation with my peers.
I love how you all talked about all the different things that you've done throughout FFA, and I think it really goes to show that there's not one way for us all to find success. I know you four have been very successful in the things that you do. Now I want to talk a little bit more about the fair. Since we're now on our final day of the fair, you guys have been running around doing a lot. What have you been up to?
Yeah, so for me, I've been here all 12 days of the state fair. So I started out 5 a.m. the day the fair opened, and doing media interviews, and got into the fair, jumped in the cooler, spent the first 2 days in the cooler with our wonderful sculptor Jerry Holzer, going to milking demos, a whole bunch of things that other girls can explain as well.
Yeah, for the first 8 days of the fair, I was down here with my dairy cattle showing them, and now I've gotten the opportunity to spend some time with these girls, hanging out in the dairy building, getting my head sculpted out of butter, and doing things like this.
Yeah, so I've been here for the last 4 days with these two wonderful ladies, and we've had the opportunity to do TV appearances, radio appearances. I was the last one to get my head sculpted yesterday, so that was super exciting for me. And I've gotten to enjoy my first time ever at the Minnesota State Fair.
I also had livestock here at the fair earlier this week, but these last couple days with these ladies, I've really enjoyed just communicating with the public, seeing all the new faces swing through the dairy building, and of course getting my face sculpted in butter.
Well, of course, it's a huge honor to have your face sculpted in butter. What does it mean for you to have that, and what are you going to do with it in the future?
From a little girl, I dreamed of sitting in that cooler, so definitely a dream come true to, get the experience to sit and get my head sculpted and have the conversations with Jerry that I had. And so with the actual butter sculpture, I want to have a big community movie night with popcorn for my family. Sunday night has always been popcorn movie night, so incorporate that tradition somehow, either working with our local FFA chapter and our alumni, or with the community club.
For me, it was, like Rachel said, a great dream come true. I've been waiting for this moment for as long as I can remember. And for right now, my butter sculpture will go into the freezer. We'll use some of the scraps until we figure out what kind of party we want to have. Maybe that's sweet corn feed or something along those lines.
I think it's a theme here that it's a dream come true for all of us. Mine is going to go sit in the freezer for a little while. I'm not sure what I want to do with it yet. I'm going to wait until my mom wants her freezer space back and has to kick it out before I fully decide what I want to do with it.
So my butterhead will be sitting in the freezer for some time as well. And in the meantime, I will be living off of the roughly 30 pounds of scraps from after the carving. But I do plan on eventually someday dividing up my butter and giving it out to my friends, family, and supporters who've all helped me get this far.
I love how you all talked about how you really want to give back to your communities and how much that they've meant to you. All right, so now let's look past the fair. It's been a long 12 days. What's coming next for you as Princess K, and what's coming next for all of you finalists as we transition past the state fair?
Yeah, so after the state fair, I'm just super excited to be traveling across the whole state of Minnesota, advocating for the Minnesota dairy farmers and all the wonderful things they do for us. So I'll be able to do that, and I'm also attending the University of Wisconsin-River Falls. I'll begin my second year on Wednesday, majoring in agriculture business with a minor in dairy science.
After the fair here, I'll head back up to South Dakota State University and begin school there, and then for all of us, it doesn't stop here. We will still continue to advocate, be active members in our community, with our dairy farmers in our local communities as well. So just getting out and enjoying the public and sharing our stories.
I think we're all looking forward to going back to our counties and getting to advocate for our dairy farmers that we know on a personal level, and all of the dairy farmers around the state of Minnesota. For me, I'm heading back to the University of Minnesota Crookston to start my junior year, majoring in elementary education.
I think Haley put it really well when she said that our stories in the dairy industry are definitely not over at this point. But for me, after these 12 days of the state fair, I will be heading back to the University of Wisconsin River Falls, walking into my junior year where I'm studying agricultural business and dairy science.
Well, it has certainly been a busy days for you 12, and I want to congratulate you on all the successes that you've had, and I wish you, Rachel, the best of luck and success throughout your year as Princess K of the Milky Way, and I'd like to thank you all for joining us this morning for our award show.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming today. All right. Our next guests come from the Miracle of Birth Center. We are very lucky to have a strong partnership with CHS to have the CHS Miracle of Birth Center here at the Minnesota State Fair. It's one of the most popular free attractions at the State Fair. And I have two of our Miracle of Birth Center volunteers with us. So can you start off by saying your name and where you're from?
Yeah, so my name is McKenna Wright, and I'm from the Hutchinson FFA chapter, located in Region 5.
My name is Colby Brandt, and I am a member of the Sibley East FFA chapter, located in Region 7.
Now, can you guys talk a little bit about what you're doing at the Miracle of Birth Center? There's a lot of things going on, but what is your job?
Yeah, so we are actually both working in the swine part of the barn. So we get to hold the piglets up for people coming by, the fairgoers, and we get to tell them a little bit about our experience, about agriculture, and just about the common industries.
Yeah, to kind of bounce off of what McKenna said, we're really responsible for making sure we talk to consumers and answering their questions if they do have any. This is a really important thing for them since they are there to learn more about agriculture.
Yeah, and talking about learning more about agriculture, you know, this is for some people, it's their very first experience getting up close with farm animals and seeing where their food comes from. So what are some of the questions that people have asked you, or like what are some of the common things that you want to share with people when it comes to sharing the story of agriculture?
Yeah, so I personally like to tackle the myths that are brought up by other people. So in the swine area, one of the most common questions is what is the pen that they are in, and it is a farrowing pen. That's my personal favorite question because there's so many different ways to answer it, and I like to answer it by just telling them that it is a safety protocol that we use to make sure that nothing happens to the animals.
I really enjoy telling fair visitors about the animals and how they are comfortable in their accommodations. It's really interesting just to kind of make that connection about how the animals are really comfortable in their environment.
Now, for people that may still have questions about some of the things that you're trying to explain to them, what are some other things that you try to say to them to really try to get your message across, or what are some other ways that we can continue telling the truth about agriculture? Yeah,
so I'm actually a reporter for Region 5, and I plan on one day going into egg communications and egg education. So it's really important for me to have people know as much as possible about a certain species, about agriculture in general, because farmers feed America, and I think that everybody should know where their food comes from and how it is made.
Yeah, so kind of bouncing off the question Kyle said, if someone still does have questions, I kind of like to understand where this question is coming from, just to kind of understand their background and what they're coming from, because I have my background and I know where I have my information from. But it's really interesting to kind of strike up that common ground just to understand where they got their information and maybe why they have that belief about the situation.
I love how you talked about trying to get to understand other people's perspectives, because, you know, sometimes it can be hard to share the story of agriculture in a way that other people can agree with, or that doesn't seem to come off in the wrong way. And you talked about how you were going out to them to get to understand their point of view, so that way you can help bridge that gap so that they can understand yours. my next question is, what are your plans after the state fair? It's been a long and busy fair shift for you all. So, are you going back to school? What's in store next for you guys?
Yeah, so I'll actually be going back to school as a senior, and I'm on the officer team for our chapter, and our next step is planning a farm product and safety day for the 4th graders to come out to my family's farm and learn about different species of livestock and safety protocols that we have on farms.
Yeah, so I'm also going to be a senior in high school. We start school tomorrow. And I am serving as the Sibley East FFA president and the Region 7 vice president. So I'll be busy with different events throughout the fall. Something similar we do to Hutchinson is called 4th Grade Ag Day. So they'll go to 4 different farms throughout our whole community. They'll get a tour of pretty much the whole county, which is really awesome. And it's really amazing for them to make those connections.
All right, and last quick fun question. Favorite food at the state fair? There's lots of foods out there. You guys have been here for a few days, so you've gotten to try a few things. What's your favorite food?
That one's really, really hard, but I would say the waffles at Blue Moon Cafe. They're huge, and they're really good priced, and they taste absolutely delicious.
I would have to say my favorite state fair food is a big bucket of Sweet Martha's cookies and the all-you-can-drink milk from the milk stand.
Well, luckily that's located right across from the Miracle of Birth Center. So thank you two for joining us today. I'll let you guys get back to working with the animals. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for having us.
All right, well, coming up next, we have one of our Minnesota FFA state officers. This morning, we are joined by Caden Johnson, the Minnesota FFA state reporter. Good morning, Caden. How are we doing today?
We are doing lovely. Very happy to be here.
Awesome. So can you talk a little bit about your role and your team's role here at the Minnesota State Fair?
Yes, this year at the Minnesota State Fair, we have been incredibly busy as state officers. We've been kind of running around. We got to meet with some sponsors earlier. We have been in all of the livestock shows, handing out ribbons and meeting members, as well as spending time in our chapter house by the Miracle of Birth Center, just kind of getting to meet people and see if they know about FFA, as well as just share what FFA is and talk about our stories.
Now, can you talk a little bit more about your role as a state officer for our viewers to help them kind of understand what a state officer does? So can you talk a little bit about what your role is as a state officer and what's been your favorite thing about being a state officer so far?
Absolutely. So state officers are kind of tagged to represent our members in Minnesota FFA. So as 6 state officers, we represent nearly 35,000 students in agriculture education in Minnesota. So we were pretty excited to be able to do that. And throughout the year, we get to present leadership conferences. We get to attend FFA conferences. We were at State Officer Summit in Washington, D.C. We get to meet with legislators to talk about agriculture and share about youth in agriculture. And we just really get to represent our members, engage with them, and promote leadership across the board.
Awesome. Now, can you talk a little bit about the months ahead? What are some exciting things that we're looking for in FFA right now?
Yes, so currently we are on the path to head to National Convention. That'll be in October, where you will have a big role on that stage, hopefully. We are also going to be part of the delegate process as state officers, as well as 3 other delegates, where we get to work with other members, other state officers in our organization to really see how we can improve our organization and work on committees to see things that we want to see implemented on the national level. So we're excited for that. In addition, we have some region events, including some lock-ins, fall rallies, so we're pretty excited to be a part of those.
Now, I know you served as a delegate last year at the National Convention. So can you talk a little bit about what that experience was like and how that's going to shape what you do this year at National Convention to try to make some changes within the organization?
Absolutely. So at last year's delegate, I got to be a part of the Agricultural Education Committee and Teacher Retention. So we got to talk about how do we want to get teachers in our organization, how do we want to get them to stay in our organization and teaching. And I really enjoyed that because I was looking at becoming an agriculture teacher myself. So it was really fun. I loved hearing all of the student ideas. And so from that, I've really learned to kind of take into perspective where others are coming from. There are a lot of people who don't share the same ideas. And so when we're coming together to create changes for our shared organization, it's really important to be able to listen to both sides and hear everyone's arguments and to be able to share why you think what you do as well as hear what others think how they do.
I think it's really important how you talked about how important our agriculture teachers are. It's really important that we have a strong core of agriculture teachers who are going to stay around for a long time to influence generations of people coming through FFA. And I know that you want to be an ag teacher in your future. So can you talk a little bit about what your future is, where you're going to college, and what you aim to do?
Absolutely. I'm currently at the University of Minnesota Twin Cities studying agriculture education at the College of Food, Agricultural, and Natural Resource Sciences. I'm staying in Bailey Hall this year, so I'm pretty excited for that. My goal right now is to be able to graduate with a Bachelor's of Science in Agriculture Education and to be able to teach in an urban environment. So I hope to bring ag to the city for students who may not have an agricultural background, as I can relate to that.
I think that was awesome how you talked about how you want to be an urban ag teacher, because right now, especially in the state of Minnesota and really all across the country, we're seeing a lot of new programs expand into urban areas. And so why specifically do you want to be an urban ag teacher?
I have always loved the big city. Being a little kid in a rural area, every time we went to visit Minneapolis or any of the large cities in our nation, I was happy as a clam. I loved running around and seeing the tall buildings, and I just loved the hustle and bustle of city life. So I want to be a part of that one day.
Well, FFA is in 19 of the largest 20 cities across the country, so we're excited to see you expanding urban agriculture. And I thank you for joining us this morning, and thank you for your service as a Minnesota FFA state officer.
Thank you so much, Kyle.
Awesome. Well, coming up next, we have two very special guests. We have Val Arsvold, the Executive Director of the Minnesota FFA Foundation, and Dr. Zane Sheehan, the Minnesota FFA State Advisor. Now, can you talk a little bit about a very special project that we've been working on for several years with the FFA Foundation?
I'm excited to do it, and I'm excited to do the interview with Dr. Sheehan as well, because the reason for this special project is support the tremendous growth that Dr. Sheehan can talk about here in a second. But as you so nicely led up to, we've worked really hard as FFA and in partnership with Minnesota 4-H, and that is to create an agricultural license plate that Minnesotans can purchase to put on their car, their motorcycle, their truck, and the dollars raised go back to support the important work that FFA does in developing young leaders across the state. So the license plate is available.
Yeah, well, you talked a little bit about growth and how this new license plate is going to support growth. So Dr. Sheehan, can you talk a little bit about what growth are we seeing in Minnesota FFA and across the country right now?
Yeah, Ag Ed continues to explode in growth. We've added 25 new programs, are on track to add 5 or 10 more this year alone. We went from 9,000 members pre-pandemic COVID to 15,000, 16,000 members right now, which is close to our national or our historical high. We've got about 40,000 students in Ag Ed taking courses, so more and more students than ever are interested in learning where their food comes from and about the environment and about the really great careers and jobs that we have available in ag.
Now, Val, can you talk a little bit more about some of the other ways that the foundation supports FFA members to continue to find new ways to support these new members that we have in our organization?
Yeah, so we really focus in 4 major areas that when people donate to the Minnesota FFA Foundation, they're supporting youth leadership, teacher development, which is something we really should spend a minute to talk about as well. To talk about scholarships, we support them, as well as our state FFA convention. So it's important for people to invest in the development of young people. You had a showcase of wonderful people this morning already who have benefited from the FFA, and we want to do that for the 40,000 that are in our programs now and beyond.
Now, another important piece of agricultural education is obviously our teachers. So can you talk a little bit about our teachers right now and some of the things that we're seeing across the state of Minnesota?
Yeah, like Val said, our teachers are continuing to grow. We have 325 teachers now, more than we've ever had before. And so thankfully the foundation has grown from supporting just the Blue Jackets to supporting all aspects that impact Ag Ed. And so the foundation makes it possible for us to provide mentorship to these young teachers. More than half of our teachers are under 3 years of teaching. And so the foundation provides us that support to coach and mentor them so that they can coach and mentor our students. And so it's that investment that our partners in industry and our donors are making to allow us to strengthen ag ed that's really helping right now. Because our teachers are getting asked to teach more than ever before. It's everything from food science and processing and technology to production agriculture to ag economics and floral design.
It's really cool how we're continuing to expand the opportunities that students have, because I think that really gives them the best opportunity for them to find a career path that's interesting for them.
But I'd just like to share that, I think people think, is it the right time for me to give to the Minnesota FFA Foundation? The answer is yes. Kyle's a donor, Dr. Sheehan's a donor, I'm a donor, because it doesn't take thousands of dollars. It might take 5 or 10, or to sponsor somebody's blue jacket through our Blue Jacket Bright Futures program. That's a $90 contribution, and the investment that you're going to watch unfold over the course of the next few years with that student is beyond measurable. And so we really are encouraging anybody who has a tie to the FFA, or if you didn't have a tie, but you see the appreciation and the value of this organization, to invest in it and make a positive difference. There's a lot of challenging things going on in the news and in the media right now. This is positive, and this is worth investing in, and that's why we all do what we do, and we're proud to support you, Kyle, as you run for the national office, that we believe that you are qualified and have a great chance to represent Minnesota in, as well as the person putting on the jacket for the very first time as a freshman or a 7th grader in a school across the state.
And I supported my home chapter because I wanted to give back, but the license plates are a great example of that. It's a $20 gift every single year, and 10 of that goes to 4-H and 10 FFA, but it's already raised $10,000, and so $10 is not a lot of money. Most of us are probably able to give that, but then the impact it makes back to students and teachers is huge.
It's really the power of giving what you can, when you can, and really as a community. Well, I'd like to thank both of you for joining us this morning. We are coming to the end of our FFA pre-show, and very soon we are going to get started with the 75th Annual FFA Award Show live at the Minnesota State Fair. Thank you all for joining us this morning, and enjoy the show.
Nice job, Kyle. I don't know when we go up.
Good morning, and welcome to the Minnesota FFA State Fair Awards Program, sponsored by Bremer Bank. Good morning, and welcome to the Minnesota FFA State Fair Awards Program, sponsored by Bremer Bank. We are excited to be here on the last day of the State Fair to recognize our FFA members and chapters for their accomplishments in the judging contests, crops, and landscape foods.
A little bit about livestock. It is a long, tedious project. From selecting the breeds and the livestock that you have months, if not years in advance, to grow your project over time. Our members are doing this to put on display for people to take a step into the agriculture area and learn about the best traditions in agriculture life really are. With FFA, our members are able to bring in their livestock and showcase them to people who may not be raised around it. With that, we're able to celebrate at the FFA Award Show this week, where all our members come together and celebrate the efforts of students who have chosen not only to be passionate about livestock, mechanics, horticulture in their homes, but also to formalize that commitment as agriculture education students and FFA members. The work we'll celebrate today is truly that of young people who are the present and future of careers in agriculture, food, and natural resources.
This morning, we are recognizing FFA members for their successes that have been displayed across the fairgrounds this week. From down here in the livestock arenas to the horticulture building, our students have a variety of passions and skills, and we have 827 FFA members from 102 chapters enter exhibits for the competition at the 2022 State Fair. The individuals we'll celebrate this morning are the very top competitors in each event. Joining us today to celebrate student successes are some distinguished guests. Please stand to be recognized. We'll hold all applause until after all guests have been introduced.
Teresa Biss from Bremer Bank, sponsor of the State Fair FFA Awards Program. Jill Navy, Minnesota State Fair Competition Office. Marie Lefebvre, State Fair Competition Office. Pam Coonan, Chair of the Minnesota Association of Agricultural Educators State Fair Committee. Dr. Zane Sheehan, the State Advisor in Minnesota Department of Education. Jim Ertl, CHS Miracle of Birth Center Superintendent. Gordy Tongas, Joe Skapansky, and the rest of the Minnesota State Fair Board of Managers, along with Conrad Kwame. We will also have a special guest joining us today, the Commissioner of Agriculture, Tom Peterson. And we would like to give a special thank you to TJ Brown, our FFA Superintendent for the Minnesota State Fair. Without him, none of this would be possible, as he puts in many hours of time and dedication to make this entire event memorable for all of our FFA members.
Today's Livestock Awards will be presented by the superintendents or coordinators who have overseen those shows for the last few years, 3 days. The superintendents will announce animals in 5th through 1st place. First place animals will be photographed in the photo area. All other exhibitors are asked to leave the area when their species is complete. Please welcome Mr. Ryan Steele for our first area of recognition.
Welcome everybody here today. So last 2 days we had some, on Saturday and Sunday, had some really excellent hog shows. So we take our breeding gilts and drop them on off. These are our top 5 breeding gilts. We'll get them all in the ring and then we'll go ahead and announce them. Our judge, Christina Flashflower Smith, went ahead and evaluated these gilts on Saturday. So we'll go ahead and run them out and we'll go through our top 5. Our 5th place gilt goes to Peyton Winter with her spot gilt. Let's give her a round of applause. Our 4th place goes to the 3rd overall cross, which would be Noah Schaefer's on the far end of the ring. Let's give him a round of applause. Our 3rd overall gilt goes to Mason Graham with our Durat gilt right out the middle. Mason, raise your hand. Let's give him a round of applause. Our reserve champion gilt goes to Noah Schaefer again with the gilt. Noah, raise your hand right out there as our reserve champion. And our champion overall breeding gilt goes to Peyton Winter right here in front. Let's give her a round of applause.
Thank you, Mr. Steele, and congratulations to our Supreme Champion breeding swine. Please help me to welcome Miss Alyssa O'Sullivan, our beef superintendent, to celebrate our beef exhibitors.
Well, thank you everybody. Yesterday we had an awesome beef show from the market all the way to the breeding. And I get the privilege of announcing our Beef Supreme heifer champions for respective breeds here, and then commending them and recognizing our top 5. So if we have our beef heifers at the end of the ring ready to go and come in, I'm going to announce them as they parade into the arena here. Coming from our Angus division, from Randolph, FFA, Ryan Heglin. We'll just keep going as we figure out where our heifers are. All right, coming out of the Charolais division, Abigail Nelson from Royalton FFA. Out of our commercial division, Hannah Wetzel from Faribault FFA. Out of our Hereford division, Rachel Dose from Sibley East FFA. Out of our Red Angus division, we have Nathan Skiba from Chisago Lakes FFA. Out of our Semitol division, Jackson Hillbrands from Morris FFA. Out of our Foundation Semitol division, Wyatt Herman from Randolph FFA. Out of our Shorthorn division, we have Emily Bolam from Austin FFA. Shorthorn Plus division is represented by Hunter Bruns from Renville County West, FFA. Out of our all other breeds purebred division, Emily White from New York Mills, FFA. And finally, last but certainly not least, out of our any other composite division, Brady Ford from Murray County Central, FFA. As we give them a chance to set up here, we're going to go 5th through our Grand Supreme Champion heifer here, starting in 5th overall. From New York Mills, FFA, coming out of our all other breeds division, Emily White. Our 4th overall heifer, coming from Randolph, FFA, out of our Foundation Semitol division, Wyatt Herman. Our 3rd overall heifer, coming from Faribault, FFA, out of our commercial division, Hannah Wetzel. Our reserve champion breeding female from this weekend, also from Randolph, FFA, out of our Angus division, Ryan Hegland. Before we announce our grand champion female here, Transova Genetics has graciously given our Supreme female a $500 certificate that will be presented to our winner here. And with that being said, our grand champion Supreme breeding heifer for the 2022 FFA show from Morris FFA out of our Semitol division, Jackson Hillbrands. Congratulations to all these exhibitors.
Thank you, Ms. O'Sullivan, and congratulations to all these champions. Next, help welcome Mr. Patrick Pearson, our Dairy Assistant Superintendent, to present the Dairy Awards.
Thank you. We are going to present the senior champions per breed, and then we're going to select our grand champion, Supreme champion overall. First up is the Ayrshire, exhibited by Buck Otenbruns from Kenyon, Wanamingo. The next one is the Brown Swiss from Spring Grove Chapter FFA, Garrett Waldenberger. The senior champion grade Holstein, exhibited by Evelyn Scheffler from the Kenyon Wanamingo FFA. Next is the Jersey, exhibited by Marcus Kyer from Tri-City United. Following the Jersey is the Milking Shorthorn, exhibited by Samuel Goenhauer from the Triton FFA. Following him is our registered Holstein, exhibited by Seth Pearson, the St. James FFA. Next up is the red and white Holstein, exhibited by Madeline Knockreiner from the GFW FFA. Following her is from the other breeds, Mallory Thorson from the Howard Lake Waverly Winstead FFA. And following her from the Guernsey class, senior champion Ethan Grams, Buffalo Lake Hector Stewart FFA. Let's give them a round of applause for giving these quality animals here. So the show went well, smoothly. I had a lot of helpers volunteering to get the show done. And so I'm gonna go out here and select my senior champion, or overall. And it's the exhibitor with the brown Swiss. He's the champion of Supreme overall. So next up is the MDA Award Special. And the winner of that MDA Special is Buffalo Lake Hector. Please. I also want to give a shout out to the competition office on a great job throughout the fair. Thank you.
Let's hear it for our dairy exhibitors and all those who volunteered to make those shows succeed. Finally, please welcome Superintendent Darcy Dana to recognize our sheep exhibitors.
Thank you. We've had an amazing breeding show this year, and we'll introduce them. Baby Doll Southdown. It's taking a little while for her to get all the way up here. Anyway, Brooklyn O'Brien from Kenyon Wanamingo. Columbia, Roland Dykoff from New York Mills. Corridale, Roland Dykoff, New York Mills. Dorset, Dixie Dykoff from New York Mills. Hampshire, Adriana Wendland, Kenyon Wanamingo. Natural Colored, Elaine Dorn from Randolph. Rambouillet, Roland Dykoff, New York Mills. Southdown, Adriana Wendland from Kenyon Wanamingo. Commercial U, Tatum Getz from Southwest Metro. Other meat breeds, Madison Peterson from Belle Plaine. And other wool breeds, Laura Brinkman from Goodhue. We had an amazing show, and I'd like to thank my staff for doing a great job and keeping everything organized. I will announce you top 5. In 5th place, other wool breeds, Laura Brinkman, Goodhue FFA, over here. 4th place, Rambouillet, Roland Dykoff, New York Mills. Raise your hand if you're, there you go. 3rd place, Southdown, Adriana Wendland, Kenyon Wanamingo. 2nd place, Dorset, Dixie Dykoff from New York Mills. And 1st place, Columbia, Roland Dykoff, New York Mills. Congratulations. We also have a first-year member award that is given each year. They fill out an application. They talk about how they would like to further the sheep breed and that they raise. And this year's winner is Laura Brinkman from Goodhue. And she is at this end. Thank you. You may go. Pictures are over there.
Thank you, Miss Dana. Let's have one last round of applause for all our livestock exhibitors. For me and many other exhibitors in the crowd today, the fair is about more than just the ribbons, plaques, and trophies. While they do make for great photo opportunities and Facebook mom posts, the fair is so much more than an award. I've been partaking in FFA weekend since my freshman year of high school. I always look forward to the second weekend because I know that this is the weekend to be with not only the animals, but also the people that I love most. This year, I had the opportunity to do FFA weekend a little differently in past, and I'm very thankful for that opportunity. But next year, I look forward to making more memories with my FFA family in the barns. Whether it's a game of cards, dancing in the aisle, or making pancakes and grilled cheese on the show box, FFA weekend brings both tradition and memories to last a lifetime. As we wrap up our celebration of 75 years of FFA at the State Fair, let's take time to thank those around us who make this weekend more than just a competition, but instead a community.
One of the things FFA members have been doing this week that you won't see an award for is the work just down the street in the CHS Miracle of Birth Center. Those FFA members may not be in this building right now, but they've been working 15-hour shifts for 4 or 5 days at a time, caring for livestock, guiding newborns into the world, and welcoming thousands of fairgoers a day into our world of agriculture.
As we mentioned earlier, the fair is filled with student opportunities within and beyond the livestock barns. Our next champions have experienced success with skills they've been honing off the fairgrounds and put to the test over the last few days. We'll be recognizing the way these champions round out the excellence FFA members have brought to the fair in the next segment of our awards. Award recipients should make their way around the pipe and drape when their name or their award area is called. Our next recognition area supports the efforts of youth who have thrived at the State Fair as they prepare for life after high school. Please help welcome Dr. Zane Sheehan, our State FFA Advisor, to celebrate State Fair Scholarship recipients.
If I read your name, please come forward, and we've got scholarships for you. So Amelia Lauber of Garden City, Bryn Lazinski of Clara City, Grace Moeller of Lake Crystal, Olivia Neinenbauer of Scandia, Tori Neinenau of Motley, Isabel O'Brien of West Concord, Kylie Stafford of Rose Creek, Morgan Townshend of Plymouth, and Jessica Weiligal of Gibbon. Congratulations to our scholarship recipients.
Congratulations to all recipients, and thank you, Dr. Sheehan. This year, Minnesota FFA is celebrating 75 years at the State Fair. On Friday and Saturday, we had the opportunity to recognize many of the legends who created a strong foundation of FFA at the State Fair. We're excited to share that new award has also been created to continue to celebrate the legacies that have literally been built as a generation of FFA members have consistently competed at the State Fair with their supervised agricultural experiences. Our new award is to recognize families with long-standing participation in FFA at the Minnesota State Fair. Please help me welcome Mrs. Pam Coonan to announce our first ever recipient of the 3-Generation FFA Family Award.
Thank you. As an FFA advisor, I recognize the importance of family in what we're doing in the FFA, and especially at the State Fair. And for many of you, this is not your first trip or even your family's first trip to the State Fair. This is something that has happened over years and decades and indeed generations. At our 50th celebration 25 years ago, we recognized three-generation families. Today we're going to recognize 13 families, and hoping that at some point we will be able to recognize a fourth-generation exhibitor with a new award that has been created that is similar to the Century Farm Award. So this award is sponsored by the Minnesota State Fair, the Minnesota Association of Agricultural Educators, and the Minnesota FFA Foundation. So we have yet to award one of these, but we are making the third generation award and hopefully the fourth generation award an annual award that will be presented each year at the State Fair. This year, the 13 families that I'm going to call up can send representatives, and hopefully we have multi-generational representatives that can come up to receive the award. The first is the Bastion, Holmgren, and Stray family. Next is the Drescher family from Alden, and they do not have a representative here today, but they were one of those families that was represented at the 50th 25 years ago. So congratulations. Franz's and Dana's. The Fritchie family. And what was neat about reading these award applications was that we really do represent all of the different areas that the State Fair encompasses, and not just the livestock. Some of them go back to the early years of the crop show. Geysers and Dykoff. Marty and Nelson families. Nordlings. The Steele family. And as an advisor, I'm especially proud that I have 3 families from our home chapter, and that's in our chapter, that are receiving the award today. The Weeby family. Lumens and Arsvolds. Schmidt and Olson families. Tongas and Christensen family. And wrestlers. family who would be deserving of this award in the future, contact your local FFA advisor. Like I said, this will become an annual event, and we will recognize families as they are nominated, and I look forward to presenting this to many more in the future. Thank you.
Congratulations to all recipients, and thank you, Mrs. Coonan.
Next, please welcome Mr. Joel Larson, our Assistant Superintendent of the Ag Technology Area, the recognition of our Ag Mechanics Champions.
Thank you. I'm going to walk over here to some of our exhibits. We had 200 exhibits in our Ag Mechanics and Technology exhibit this year at the State Fair. We're hoping for more in the future. We have 6 chapters that participated. The premier chapter is Kirkhope and Murdoch Sunburg. Give them a round of applause. Our reserve champion in our division with Ag Technology was Rayanne Holmquist from New London Spicer. Our reserve champion was Paul Schleep from Kirkhope and Murdoch Sunburg. And then congratulations to those people. We have 2 of our main prizes in our directed activities section. And we have some tools. Our new sponsor this year is Acme Tool, and they're going to give a drill driver set to each of our champions in these areas. And so first off is Grace Granton from New London Spicer. Grace, could you come forward? Grace, quickly, tell us a little bit about the project that you built.
We built a Connect 4 board out of polycarbonate, so it's plexiglass reused. So we cut a ton of holes into it and then put wood on the sides so you can play a giant game of sports.
Congratulations. And our overall champion is David Thaden from Wilmer with his fire pit. David also, David, come on down, come on out. And David also received the Best in Show, and he's also our premier exhibitor. So if you go up to the horticulture building next to the crops wing, you'll see the Ag Mechanics and Technology exhibit. And I encourage you to stop up and take a look at the exhibit. Now, David, this just isn't any fire ring. Tell us a little bit about it.
It's a stainless steel fire ring that I made at my apprenticeship that I worked at.
So you've got a few tools that you couldn't find in the shop at Wilmer.
Yeah.
Let's give David a hand. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Larson. We had more than 350 student-registered samples as a part of this year's crop show. Their work has been on display throughout the entire fair in the horticulture building. As we share results, please come forward when your name is called. We would also like to share a special appreciation to our Superintendent of the Crops, Ron Kelsey.
Our 2022 Crops Division champions are, with the ear of corn, Quentin Gold of the Red Rock Central FFA. Wheat, Quentin Gold of the Red Rock Central FFA. Shelled corn, Quentin Gold of the Red Rock Central FFA. Edible Beans, Derek Johnson of the Wilmer FFA. And Oats, Rachel Twissa of the Jackson County Central FFA. For barley and soybeans is Rachel Twissa of the Jackson County Central FFA.
Our top award winners for Best of Show Organic Crops is Daniel Williamson of the Atwater Cosmos Grove City FFA. Our Best of Show Ear of Corn is Quentin Bold of the Red Rock Central FFA. Quentin Bold of Red Rock Central is also our Best of Show overall. Our High Point first year individual is Carson Ecker of Sleepy Eye FFA. Our High Point individual is Quentin Bold of the Red Rock Central FFA. Our High Point first year chapter is the Grand Meadow FFA. Our Point chapter is the Sleepy Eye FFA.
On designated days of the Minnesota State Fair, agricultural education programs and FFA chapters were selected to conduct an interactive exhibit or demonstration about agricultural activities or skills. Individual students and FFA chapters spent the week engaging with visitors at the FFA chapter house, teaching about a variety of topics. Please help me welcome Dr. Zane Sheehan to introduce our champions for the demonstration and interactive chapter exhibit contest.
All right, so this is a new event, or really an old event. We used to do this at the chapter house where long before we moved. So we brought it back for the 75th, and we're really excited. It's an opportunity for CE teams and LD teams and proficiency winners and agri-science fair projects to demonstrate their skills. And so we have 6 different individual or team competitions in each of the pathways: animal, plant, biotechnology, food systems. And there's also a chapter level division where chapters can set up a display on safety or food, literacy, whatever they kind of want to help practice their skills. So it's a really exciting event. We have a lot of partners from the foundation and State Fair who came on board to support it. So because it's newer, we weren't full, so please next year consider signing up for it because there is really, really good money in it. The premiums are large. So the premiums for the individual/team categories, $500 each. In agribusiness and biotechnology systems, the champion is Bryn Bolke in Mankato FFA. In the agribusiness, leadership, education, communication systems, champion is Lily Guchenek, Mariana Iden, and Leah Halderson of Buffalo FFA. They're our marketing team. In food products, processing systems, the champion is Molly Neidenreger of Mankato FFA. And power structural and technical systems, the champion is Kaylee Keeley of AFSA FFA. And then the chapters, there's 11 chapters that have the opportunity to take one day in the fair, so we're only going to recognize the top chapter, but if you participate in this at all, please come forward at the end and get a letter containing information. But the Grand Champion chapter won $1,500 for their premium, and it is Sleepy Eye FFA. So please sign up for these in the future. It's really exciting. You have demonstrations back at the chapter house.
On Friday, FFA members from across the state judged several different livestock animals, including dairy, beef, swine, and sheep. They looked for the best animals that would produce the healthiest and wholesome foods for people who want to eat their products. As part of the dairy judging competition, individuals handling the animals were evaluated too. With Dan Dilla, our Assistant Superintendent of Judging Contests, please come forward to introduce the winners of our dairy handler, dairy cattle judging, and livestock judging competitions.
Morning. I'm the reason why they create scripts, because otherwise I tend to go off script. Yeah, it's usually not very good. But anyway, so real quick, thank you to all that came to the contest on Friday. I know it's a busy day with livestock entries and whatnot, so but we did have good participation on Friday afternoon. In our dairy handler contest, our top dairy handler this year, please come down, is Jaden White of the Waseca FFA chapter. Congratulations to Jaden. In our dairy cattle judging contest, participants judge cows which produce different dairy foods such as cheese, yogurt, and milk for consumers. If you're here, if your chapter is here, please send down a representative. Our individual results, our top 3 individuals. In 3rd place, Sam Becker of the Glencoe Silver Lake FFA chapter. Our 2nd high individual, Natalie Clemenson of the Zambroda Mazeppa FFA chapter. And our top individuals, J.C. Samaral of the TCU FFA chapter. In our livestock judging competition, participants judged several livestock animals, including beef, swine, and sheep. They looked for the best animals that would produce. Oh, sorry. You are right. I didn't stay on script, did I? Anyway, we have team results for dairy as well, so I do apologize for that. In 3rd place from the Zambroda FFA, Zambroda Mazeppa FFA chapter, please come forward. That's why you're here. In 2nd place from the Howard Lake Waverly Winstead FFA chapter. And our top team from TCU FFA. Please come forward. So moving on to our livestock judging results. As mentioned earlier, participants judged several different kinds of livestock animals, including beef, swine, and sheep. They looked for the best animals that would produce the healthiest and wholesome foods for people who want to eat their products. So in our results, our top 3 individuals. In 3rd place overall was Kate Schmidt of the New Ulm FFA chapter. Is this Kate? Kate, are you Kate? Wow, might be our shortest competitor. I'm going to hang out with her more often, I think. So, our 2nd high individual is Aubrey Schmidt of the New Ulm FFA chapter. And our top individual is Zoe Ruckmeyer of the Glencoe Silver Lake FFA chapter. And our team results, our top 3 teams. In 3rd place, Royalton FFA chapter. In 2nd place, Austin FFA. In our top chapter in the livestock judging contest is Waterville Elysian Morristown FFA. We do have additional packets for teams to pick up once the awards program is over, so please come down and get those after the awards program. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dillon. And congratulations to our judging event winners. Chapter results and ribbons will be available in the ring following our awards program. Our next champions worked in teams to develop the landscape exhibitors featured next to the FFA chapter house. Will our finalist chapters please send a representative forward? If you haven't already, you should take time to see the incredibly beautiful landscape designs they created around the theme of butterfly gardens before you head home today. As we share the results, please step forward for recognition. So those finalists can come forward if you're present. All right. Okay, so in second was Dazzle Coqueto FFA. And first place was Buffalo FFA.
Congratulations to all the chapters who helped make FFA look so good with your landscape this year. Chapters that competed in the landscape booth can pick up feedback and ribbons following the awards program. Our next area of recognition is for the tractor driving event that was held earlier this weekend. Would our identified finalists make their way forward? The tractor driving event features a written exam, safety and maintenance components, and a driving challenge. We will recognize the top 2 teams and top 2 individuals as we share the results. Please step forward for recognition.
In second, for the top 2 individuals, Trayton Lind of the Randolph FFA. And your top individual is Gavin Rood of the Randolph FFA. Our top 2 teams, second, Canby FFA. And your top team for the tractor driving contest is Randolph FFA.
The next area of recognition is for herdsmanship. Herdsmanship recognizes the chapters with the most impressive exhibits within their species, focusing not on only how clean and healthy the animals in their pens and stalls are, but also the conduct and cooperation of the exhibitors themselves. We will be starting off with beef. Our first place individual, please come forward, Caitlin Pollard of the Foley FFA. For our top 3 chapters, in third place, Sleepy Eye FFA. Receiving a plaque is the Randolph FFA. And our top chapter, in first place, also receiving a plaque, is the Foley FFA.
Moving on to dairy, which is sponsored by Midwest Dairy. Our first place individual, please come forward. Ethan Grams of the Buffalo Lake Hector Stewart FFA. Our top 3 chapters. In third place, please stand if you hear your chapter, DFW Pioneer Express FFA. You do not have a plaque, so you can just stand up. And second, receiving a plaque in the Sibley East FFA. And first place, also receiving a plaque, is the St. James FFA.
For our meat goats, our first place individual, please come forward, Samantha Frick of the Hutchinson FFA. For our top 3 chapters, in third place, please stand Hutchinson FFA. In second place, receiving a plaque is the Triton FFA. And our first place for market goat herdsmanship is the Chatfield FFA.
Moving on to sheep. First place individual, please come forward. Cody Schwartz of the Maple River FFA. Our top 3 chapters. Third place, Sibley East FFA. In second place, receiving a plaque, is the Kenyon Wanamingo FFA. And in first place, also receiving a plaque, is the Southland FFA chapter.
And lastly, our swine herdsmanship. First place individual goes to Zoe Rushmeyer of the Glencoe Silver Lake FFA. For our chapters, in third place, please stand, Kenyon Wanamingo FFA. In second place, receiving a plaque, is the Painesville FFA. Also receiving plaque in our first place is the Sibley East FFA chapter.
Our next award area is for market livestock. We will recognize first and second place, but only first place winners will come forward to receive the awards.
For our market beef, Maple River in third place. In second place, Randolph FFA. And our first place, please come forward, Alden Conger FFA.
Meat goats. In third place, Lanesboro FFA. In second place, Triton FFA. And in first place, please come forward, Chatfield FFA.
For market sheep in third place, we have United South Central FFA. In second place is Mountain Lake FFA. And our first place, please come forward, Hayfield FFA.
Moving on to market swine. In third place, Sibley East FFA. Second place, New Ulm FFA. And in first place, Alden Conger FFA.
Next is the Premier Chapter Market Livestock Award. In third place, Chatfield FFA. Please stand for recognition. In second place is Randolph FFA. Please stand for recognition. And in first place, please come forward, Alden Conger FFA.
Our final livestock awards are for species premier exhibitors. The calculation of premier exhibitors is done based upon points earned throughout all the breeding classes within a specific species. Only the first place recipients should come forward for your awards, but all winners should get photos after the program.
For beef, in third place, we have Sibley East FFA. In second place, we have Chisago Lakes FFA. And in first place is the Randolph FFA chapter.
In dairy, third place, Randolph FFA. Second place, Fillmore Central FFA. And in first place, receiving a plaque or trophy, is Tri-City United FFA.
Market goats. In third place is the Kenyan Wanamingo FFA. In second place, the Hutchinson FFA. And our first place market goat is Triton FFA.
For sheep, third place, Goodhue County or Goodhue FFA. Second, Kenyan Wanamingo FFA. And in first place, New York Mills FFA.
For swine, in third place, we have the Buffalo Lake Hector Stewart FFA. In second place is the Randolph FFA. And our first place goes to Kenyan Wanamingo FFA. Next, we will have TJ Brown come up to announce our Premier Exhibitor Breeding Livestock Award.
All right, thank you very much. We're wrapping this up. This is what everybody's waiting around to hear, the last two big awards. So obviously though, I think we can't start talking about that without just remembering this is the 75th. This is pretty special to have 75 years. That's a milestone. Okay, so all of you owe a round of applause to yourselves, to your advisors, to your families, to your grandparents, for making 75 years. That's good. We want to remember as many things as we can from this day. I don't know about you guys, I have a wife that wants to take pictures all the time. It drives me nuts. But I'm going to be that person today, okay, because this is the 75th. So if you receive some hardware, please, I know we've got a side of stage photo, but we want with the backdrop and the 75th. Stick around afterwards, please. If you have hardware, get up there, get a photo of the state officer at the backdrop. And then for sure, those 3-generation families, we want a photo with that backdrop, okay? We'd like you to memorize that. It's a pretty significant, to get 3 generations, that's very significant tradition. And so we want to remember those things. When we're all done though, we need all the FFA members. We'll probably start with those generation pictures. But we need that members that were here that showed at the fair with your blue and gold shirts, right under that banner right there. Okay, I don't know if you guys appreciate those shirts. I sure hope you do. But it takes a lot of money to pull off 2 t-shirts for over 700 FFA members. And we'd like to send some photos to the sponsors. And so we want a really big group photo immediately when we're done. If you've got a blue and gold shirt on, get underneath that banner and we'll take a quick photo. Generations can start on their photos over there. And then anybody else with hardware, do photos over there, okay? This is where we are. All right. Breeding, the whole breeding, all right? I should have been talking over there. All right, breeding livestock is based on points award earned by all animals across the species exhibited here this weekend. So in third place, you're going to stand, no award recognized, but you're in the hunt, keep working on it. Third place, New York Mills. Second place, Randolph FFA. Please stand. And first place, the big trophy, Kenyon Wanamingo. Sorry, that was the breeding. All right, let's move on to the Baldwin Award winner. Our Baldwin Award winner. This is a really special award. If you look at the back of your program, you'll see the whole generation of this award. This is the highest honor the State Fair can give to an individual FFA member. I'm going to call this individual up and we'll just ask a few questions. That's kind of been a tradition. Dwayne started before me. And so, a little background. This year was a really tough year. We had 7 applicants. All of them would have been quality recipients. But in honor of this, if you read the story about this, it's the best of the best, and so we have to choose one. The assistant superintendents all vote, and so last night after the vote, we had a 3-way tie. That makes my job hard. And so this morning I pulled in some non-livestock assistant superintendents and had them vote. That got it down to 2, because they still were tied. So we had to make a decision. So when I bring this person up, please know this was difficult. And this person deserves a lot of recognition. So Madison Dana, please come up here. All right, you got to do a little interview. What chapter?
Mountain Lake.
Okay, Mountain Lake. Do you know how many past Baldwin Award winners are from Mountain Lake?
4?
You make 4. You make 4, correct? All right. Who? You think you're 5? I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I'm not counting myself. All right. She might know better than me. Who do you know for sure from Mountain Lake that's a past Baldwin Award winner?
Well, I know 3 of them.
Who are you related to? Well, that doesn't help either.
For sure, my mother.
All right, your mom. So, introduce parents.
Todd, Darcy, Dana.
All right, Todd and Darcy Dana. So good job raising this one. What do we show for species?
Both sheep and swine.
And your favorite?
Swine.
Boy, that wasn't even, she didn't flinch. Okay, why?
I just love the bond that I can build with my animals and how competitive it really is. It's an amazing event that we have to go through.
And so, what is your most significant memory? You've been showing at the State Fair for FFA now for more than half a dozen years. What do you remember?
Not a lot.
You gotta have one special memory that you want to share.
Well, it would have to be from this year, actually. I won breeding guild showmanship for the first time ever in my career.
Congratulations. So, this award's really special, and congratulations on winning that award. But the great thing about the Baldwin Award winner, it's a combination of length of showing experience, number of species involved, but a whole lot of character. And so the fact that you're receiving this means that there's a lot of people in the barn that think you have qualities that we wanted to see all of our show people exemplify. So congratulations to you, but one last thing, you're seasoning out of your eligibility to show FFA. What advice would you give to the younger show people in the room?
Just really take all the opportunities that you can. It's really amazing. I started out just showing sheep, and then we branched out to swine, and it's been an amazing experience. So do everything that you possibly can.
Thank you very much. Congratulations. Get the photo afterwards. So, our final award is our overall. We did overall market, we did overall breeding, then they're added together to figure out the top chapter showing at the state fair. All right, there's, the points were fairly close. Third place, we just want you to stand to be recognized, but at 455 points, Alden Conger was third. So our runner-up, top chapter, Kenyon Wanamingo with 502. I think they're all over there right now. All right, and then come on back up quickly. And then finally, 455 points, Randolph FFA.
Congratulations to our exhibitors, and thank you to the families, volunteers, and especially FFA advisors who made this show possible. Every FFA jacket gets its start in an agriculture classroom. Our shows and exhibits throughout the fair would have been empty if it weren't for the hundreds of agriculture teachers and FFA advisors teaching the 40,000 Minnesota students in our schools. We appreciate you and what you do. The great thing about agricultural, food, and natural resource education is even when this fair ends, our students and teachers are back in the classroom the next day, continuing to make strides to build the future of agriculture. We are proud of you, and we are thankful for everyone who makes this possible year after year.
If you are interested in supporting the amazing things that happen in agriculture, food, and natural resource education programs and FFA chapters, please consider showing your support through purchasing the new agriculture license plate. It supports programs delivered by FFA and 4-H. In the last 6 months, this alone has raised $10,000 for the Minnesota FFA Association. To close out our event, we'd like to have everyone in their state fair shirts join us for a group picture. And don't forget to get any photos you need at our backdrop before you leave. To those at home, thank you for joining us, and we hope you'll find a way to get connected with supporting your local chapters and programs this year. Until next year's event, this has been the 2022 Minnesota FFA State Fair Livestock Awards. I'm Bryn Lazinski, and I'm proud to be an FFA member.